Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hello, I'm WriterGreg, and welcome to another Feedback Frenzy here at the School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy. Thank you so much for being here. We are together again to review a fiction or world-building article that has been submitted at wgc.bz/submit. So thank you so much for being here, and let's get into this first here on the Feedback Frenzy, where in a previous episode we critiqued Heavyweight Cargo Ship submitted to us by Moonflower. So we're going to go ahead in this and do the critique of an updated article. I did add a question to the submit form. Has this been critiqued before? Because my apologies, I thought these things were being duplicates because I forgot to delete them out of the queue. And now we'll be able to specify clearly what content is being resubmitted for an update. So thank you so much, Moonflower, for helping me to improve the process here at the Feedback Frenzy as we get into and dig into the articles. So let's get to it. All right. All right. So I really had mostly I had the comments before about the aesthetic, the neon. I'm not really going to rehash those things since it was recorded yesterday. YouTube videos, I'm not sure how many back it was, probably a couple. But again, the wagon wheel, still the wagon wheel. All right. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into the content because it appears that most of the content that was changed was dealt with in the previous article. Now, giving a cursory glance, I'm noticing a lot more paragraphs. I like more paragraphs, especially in nonfiction. But if we have there's the tip-top rule of paragraphs. Tip, top. Time, meaning place. Topic, person. Tip, time. There's two P's. Tip, time, person, and then topic, place. No. Okay, something like that. Anytime one of those changes, you need to start a new paragraph. And that's where I really got the idea and fed my idea of one topic per paragraph. One idea per sentence, one topic per paragraph. So let's go through this. We'll read this again, and we'll... Sorry, I'm laughing at the chat. I'll save my comments for after the video during this live stream. All right. Heavyweight cargo ships are spacefaring vessels designed to transport goods at slower than light speeds. Okay, we got the hyphenations in there. Excellent. I like that. Whether it's grammatically correct or not, I think that's a good thing. They will travel at up to 1/10 the speed of light when transporting cargoes between planets. This limits the amount of particle displacement the cargo undergoes and ensures it does not undergo any form of rapid deterioration while in transit. Cargo bays of heavyweight cargo ships typically take up 1/2 to 3/4 of the ship's total volume, with the remaining space housing the remaining space housing the crew and equipment. No need for a comma there. I apologize. Okay, now I really like this new sentence that you added here. Okay, I found my pen. Okay, the particle. Whoa, that is way too big. That's way too small. Let's go Goldilocks here. Okay, particle displacement the cargo undergoes, that is really an excellent idea. So there is an economic advantage to allow for people to do it, because if you go in hyperspace or you go faster than light, you will have less of the material when you come out of a faster FTL, whether it's a hyperspace or a warp bubble or whatnot. Really interesting idea, and I don't know where you got that idea. I don't know if that's based in any scientific reality, but I love that idea because it makes the heavyweight cargo ships more valuable. Okay, it's interesting that you just said 1/10 the speed of light. Okay, sure. I'm sure there's mechanics for that. But let's go back to this sentence. Okay, this sentence. This limits the amount of particle displacement the cargo undergoes and ensures it does not undergo any form of rapid deterioration while in transit. Okay, so we have displacement. No. We have undergoes and we have undergo in the same sentence. Okay, so I would break this down simpler to two different. Okay, now, so is the 1/10 the reason for the limitation? It was changed to the cargo subject. Okay, so I'm going to refresh. Maybe okay. Well, let's just F5 this. This is if you're editing this live. Okay, I don't. Okay. So is 1/10 the most optimal speed for limiting particle displacement? Because is 1/5 light speed or half light speed? Is that where deterioration, the particle displacement, starts? Just interesting. Okay, this limits the this speed or this so I'd start as probably this speed limits the amount of particle displacement the cargo is subjected to, period. Okay. This sentence, it does not undergo any form of rapid deterioration while in transit. That's kind of saying the same thing that we have in the first one. I would recommend that this sentence, the second half of this clause, be removed, but reversed and stated into something positive. Let's give an example. Okay, this speed, and you could have a highlight. Okay, you're saying 1/10 c, which I presume is the speed of light, is 300,000 kilometers per second. That would be an excellent tooltip for 1/10 the speed. So this speed limits the amount of particle displacement the cargo is subjected to. Going faster, okay, for example, 1 kilogram of unobtainium, vibranium, iron, gold. Like 1 kilogram of gold loses like 0.0001 gram per like hour at above light speed. Okay, like you can give an example. Now, this could be more, this could be less, just, an idea, because then we can understand the severity of it. Because if for every hour, no, half-life speeds up. Okay, like, okay, because that's an idea. Okay, let's just delete all that. Okay, if you talk about half-life, everything has a half-life, meaning the amount of time it takes for that element, molecule, something to decrease to half. Okay, so so if you were to travel at light speed for 1 hour, you could, 10x the half-life or something like that. Okay. So if something had, I don't know, whether 10x or 100x, you'd need to, I'm sorry, you're going to need to do the math on this. But if you use this as half-life or your original idea of deterioration, it just will add, I think it will add a scientific flavor to your science fiction, because, we know about half-lives. Like, that's what makes, nuclear waste so bad, is because it has such a long half-life, and it will continue to radiate. Everything radiates. Everything has a radiation level. Bananas have a radiation level. If you could have, the potassium in banana, regardless. Your choice. I think the idea of deterioration is just awesome. Your choice whether you just say you flat out lose a percentage, or the half-life speeds up. You'd have to do some math to make it significant enough, because if, hey, we need to get this there now, and it's worth the loss of material, versus, hey, we'll take the slow boat, because it's worth having all of it there when it shows up. Okay. And that might be, I don't know if that's important enough to have its own section. But have you moved this all to the vignette so that you could have custom headers? Moonflower, I guess that's a question to you. If you move this to vignette for custom headers, yes. Excellent. Not saying that templates are bad. Templates are wonderful. They're really good for what they do. They really inspire people. But when you want to start getting into the nitty-gritty of laying out and stuff like that. Okay, nuclear fusion pulsar reactors are used almost exclusively when powering a heavyweight cargo ship. Okay, despite their relatively low power output, the stability of these reactors is crucial to the regular function of these ships. Cargo ships of this class can be out of range of any repair services for months. As such, their power supply must be a constant. I'd just say it must be consistent. Must be consistent. While malfunctions of nuclear fusion pulsar reactors are rare, they can occur. Malfunctions malfunctions can, in extreme rarity, result in the dispelling of the atmospheric membrane, which can cause fatalities from pressure release, asphyxiation, and or radiation poisoning. More commonly, these reactors will simply shut itself down, causing delays ranging in length from a few hours to a few days. Okay, excellent. I'm glad that bold equals future link or title. Excellent. I usually start out with templates, then move to vignettes once I feel ready. Excellent. Excellent approach. What was I thinking? Was I thinking of something? No. Maybe it'll come back to me. Okay, heavyweight cargo ships are propelled and steered by compressing and ejecting hydrogen fuel, which is stored in the tank at the bottom of the ship. The compression is achieved via a piston system. Malfunctions is really long. But it didn't feel long. It didn't feel long because it was a list. So I'm okay with that. It lists don't feel as long as they are because our brain thinks that it's, it treats it as a list. Now, if it's important enough, if each of those items are separately, you could literally put it in a bulleted list if you'd want. Okay, this compression is achieved via a piston system, and very little fuel is required for most course adjustments. The propulsion system is computer controlled. Okay. How do they get the hydrogen? Is the hydrogen replenished at a gas station? I mean, literally a gas station? Is it collected? Is it a byproduct of the nuclear fusion pulsar reactors? Not sure. An artificial intelligence, AI, advises the pilot when making course corrections as a form of interstellar positioning system. An artificial intelligence advises the pilot when making course corrections Okay, this first sentence is a little bit confusing to me. I keep forgetting the word not in the last sentence of the former paragraph. Oh, the propulsion system is not computer controlled. That changes things. Okay. All right, let me recommend this suggestion for the first sentence of the second paragraph of propulsion. An artificial intelligence is used as an interstellar positioning system. Period. It, or the AI, advises the pilot on how to make course corrections during the flight. Because you're talking about the artificial intelligence does two things. Again, keeping it one idea per sentence, you're defining what the AI is. It's an interstellar positioning system. And then what it does. It advises the pilot on how to make course corrections. Because here you're talking about the artificial intelligence And then we have the artificial intelligence, and then you have the pilot when making course corrections. Well, okay, so the subject of the sentence isn't associated with the verb in it. I mean, okay, yeah, advises, AI advises, but then you have pilot making. Okay, so we just have two different subject verb combinations in this sentence. It was throwing me off. Not hard to do, but I would recommend an artificial intelligence is used as a interstellar positioning system. The AI, or you could say, advises the pilot when making course correction. It has no access to the maneuvering controls of the ship, and all changes in direction are manual by nature. Okay. To allow, okay, then I would switch the last sentence to make it more direct to like 3 pilots are employed as a part of the ship's crew to ensure someone is always at the helm. The hydrogen is likely refueled at way stations, Article 2BA, and fuel ships. Okay. Well, then we could, that could be an extra thing, and you could just say that somewhere. Um, you could throw in another paragraph here saying hydrogen is requires refueling at stations, and then you could have a link over there. Uh, I th- I I think it's kind of important to know that hey, this thing still needs gas. Not gasoline, petrol, but literally hydrogen gas. Um, Again, interesting concept, but the conservation of momentum, the hydrogen would only be required for course corrections. Once you get up to speed, you literally can drift. You turn off the engines in space, you still always keep going forward. There's no friction to slow you down. So, yeah, I don't. Apollo 13, the movie in Apollo 13, um, Tom Hanks, Gary Sinise, Kevin Bacon, wonderful. Ed Harris. Oh, I, I love that movie. The check to see how the original Apollo modules had those steering, because what I'm thinking in my mind right now is when Tom Hanks was required to steer the thing and he had to use those things and the gas was spitting out. It's almost exactly what you're describing here. And if you can learn a little bit about the maneuvering thrusters, did they use hydrogen? What did the maneuvering thrusters spit out in the Apollo system, the original Apollo modules? May add some authenticity. If Earth exists in your world in the ancient past, you could refer to that. Anyway. For some reason, the concept of this AI is reminding me of Bob the Skull in the Dresden Files. Bob doesn't have the ability to do the magic, but advises Dresden on how to adjust the way he makes potions or casts the spells to adjust for things fluctuating at a level too complex for the human conscious mind to keep track of. Yes, excellent. Excellent tie-in to another fandom, intellectual property. Uh, well, the point of hydrogen is that it's the most common element in the universe. Sold, done. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You win. That's an excellent point, Moonflower. See, this is why it's fun having people here when we can talk about things like this. Okay, the manual nature of the piloting has saved thousands of galactic. I need a pronunciation guide. Nirams. I'm assuming the K is silent. Nirams. For the companies, it's coming. Thank you. The companies using these ships, as AI systems advanced enough to control the ship are pricey and prone to malfunctions. All right. How pricey? NIRAMs. Thank you. Okay, NIRAMs. Um, the point of diminishing returns. So if you like, again, this is economy. You don't have to get into it. It's just an idea for expansion. Since this is so important, as this you reference that this is a really important article. Um, how many people could be hired for the cost of an AI? Right now, you stated that you have 3 pilots. Could you have 6 pilots? Is it only double the cost to have an AI? Triple, 10x. For the price of you would for the price of 30 pilots, it's not until you yeah. So that way, you know how expensive it is. One AI that can navigate a ship, is equal to the price of 30, 50, 30 pilots. And that way you say it would really justify, okay, you can have 3 human meat bags as opposed to 1 non-human. But then you'd still need a human there anyway to, watch the AI. An idea, an expansion idea. I'm jumping ahead. Although crew members are permitted personal weapons, i.e., knives and certain personal firearms, excellent, on board these ships, there are no weapons installed for the defense of the ship itself. Most heavyweight cargo ships carrying valuable goods are accompanied by at least 1 armed escort. Otherwise, they are left without offensive capabilities. Okay. All right, weapons is offense. Armor, defense. Good use of changing different things. 3 carbon brains versus 1 silicone. Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, that's the comparison I'm going to. I guess personally, I would say 30 because you're using 3 and multiples of 10s are easier to understand. But it's got to be a much higher ratio because really if it was only 2 more people, I mean, if you could get rid of 2 people with 1 AI brain, people would do it. Think of how fast ordering kiosks are being used in fast food restaurants to reduce costs of a cashier. You walk into McDonald's and there's a couple ordering kiosks, and there are fewer people taking orders. All right. When the last restaurant I worked at, there was almost no one who could take an order. Like we had to call the manager to take a manual order because the it was so much easier to order online, order through the app, or stuff like that. The maintenance of one AI system is around 15 pilots' yearly salaries. Ooh, excellent. That's only routine maintenance. No malfunctions, breakdowns, or insurance involved. I decided that off the top of my head. Excellent. Excellent. And I like the number 15 because it's multiple by 3. I like that. Okay, armor. Heavyweight cargo ships have their hulls and weak points reinforced with ultrino steel. Okay, it's bold. There's going to be a future article link, which provides additional defense against most common weapons. These reinforcements stand little chance against the weapons used by most professional militaries. Okay. Yeah, good, straightforward. Glad you got rid of the armaments. Yeah. I'm going to save that comment, hopefully. That paragraph gave me a lot of trouble. Well, I think it works well now. In the UK, it is both because in the UK, some people prefer human-to-human communication rather than touching a screen. Fair enough. Heavyweight cargo ships are equipped with an atmospheric membrane generator for the safety and comfort of the crew. This membrane encases the entirety of the ship, including the cargo bay. Atmospheric membranes provide gravitational fields centered on the device, as well as trapping air within it and shielding from solar radiation. Okay, I forgot to put the link in that. Okay, no worries. Okay, question. Okay, this sentence is begging for a list because atmospheric membranes provide gravitational fields, containing air, and shielding from solar radiation. That's a list of 3. I would punctuate it as a serialized list. Okay, now here's my question going into this as well, Moonflower. Armor and the atmospheric membrane. If the technology exists to create this atmospheric membrane that encases the entirety of the ship, I'm thinking like Star Trek shields. It creates a bubble around the ship. Okay, they don't have atmosphere in it, but there's a bubble around the ship. Those are the shields because there are shield generators. This is an atmospheric membrane generator. Okay, so it tells me that they have the technology to be able to encase the ship with a membrane. Good choice of words. It's unique to this, and it's not implying something else. It's just a membrane. But it also means it can keep radiation out, and it can keep air molecules in. That is powerful technology, and I'm not sure why they wouldn't also use that for shields, like literal Star Trek shields. That if they tweaked that technology, it could be used. Perfect. Okay, shield technology exists too, but it's too expensive. That needs to be a paragraph about that needs to be put in the armor. Yep. Okay. That answers my question. Yes, it's there, but it's too expensive. See, I like that answer a whole lot more than, oh no, it doesn't exist. Acknowledging it exists, but it's not available, and explaining why, that, I believe, is good world building. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I think this was a great rewrite. I did have a couple of suggestions on the sentences, so let's go into the ABCs. Uh, I thought it was an awesome article. I love the updates. I love the additional information. I really appreciate you allowing me to read it again here on the Feedback Frenzy. Definitely not bored. A lot of juicy tidbits, juicy things that you could really get into here in the article. Confused? Not by the content. Okay, and so when I mean confused, I don't mean I don't understand. I don't mean I don't have questions, and that's where I get into my expansion and deletion concept. But I think you explained things well. There were some grammatical issues with the sentences, as we defined before, but the basic fundamentals of why things are the way they are in the world building, I thought were well done. Delete? Nah, don't delete anything. Expand? We talked about that in the during the course of this thing. Okay, that's actually detailed in a different article. Eden 3, place where the first book takes place, has a major shield installed over most of the city. Ah, okay. Nice. Okay, cool. So it's economical enough for covering a whole city, but it's too expensive to put on these slow boats, cargo ships. Different question. Don't add it to this article, but I'm just begging to know, do the shields work in your faster than light? Or do you have to drop shields to go FTL? For those ships that have the ability. I don't know. Anyway, thank you. So more that it's valuable for human protection, but not for object protection. FTL would just break the shield really easily, so probably best to drop them. Excellent. Okay, and you're going super fast, so it'd be hard to for someone to hit you. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, then you could have super fancy heavyweight cargo ships that have shields that protect the humans. The atmospheric bubble covers the whole thing. Others protect just the humans. You know, you could say some really expensive or some, you know, nah. I hate to say it, it's business. I'm thinking long haul truckers. Oh, this is a terrible thought to say, but the company probably cares more about the cargo than the pilot. Yeah. Am I terrible? Is that a terrible thought? That I think that companies would be that calloused? Maybe. All right. On that happy note, thank you so much, Moonflower, for resubmitting that article so we can see the progress that has been made. Love that option. So thank you so much for being here. Luckily, shielding tech is not available for mass production, and you're not wrong. If you would like to have your content to be critiqued and reviewed, please visit wgc.bz/submit, and your content can be here with a future Feedback Frenzy. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great one. And until next time, keep on writing.
Thanks for watching this Feedback Frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.